people commented on YouTube. So I pulled the comments and we read them, and then like Nip got the response to them. But so we read your comment, and he was like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, "Man," he was like, "I'm trying to be politically correct because I know this stuff is we trying to be monetized." He goes, "I go to my bar, and then Monday, like they told me they closed on Mondays because they can't get nobody to work." And he goes, and then people be calling out talking about oh, my mental health ain't good today, so I can't come to work. And he just started going off. I was like, Nip, stop, leave it alone. We're at the end of the show. We gotta wrap this up, man. Like
I know. He better not say that with Miss Carey listening. I can tell you that much. the way she babied on Naomi Osaka, and also that doggone gymnast. She was all over babying them. Like your boy said, Jay, get out there, do your damn job. That's what he said. I'm not trying to hear that shit. Hell, we all got stuff we going through. Everybody going through something.
But we talk about my music podcast. My homeboy, he be going off like every week. He be going in hot. Like
yeah, you do.
They say, Earth, that's terrible.
That's terrible. Hey, but knowing him as long as I've known him, that's him.
Yep. All day, every day, bro.
I'm not gonna say it's sugarcoat.
I'm telling you right now, that joker had me in tears. I was laughing.
We were talking about some music, and he was like, "We can't really talk about these hot pieces of garbage. Like, we gotta talk about this week." I was like, "Damn, bro, you gonna bury the lead? That's the shit that Coach used to do." Well, I'm like, we go, "We really gonna talk about this?" I'll be like, "Damn, Coach, like,
no chance,
right?
Zero."
All right, I'm gonna go jump.
Oh, Maurice Goodson on here, Jay.
Yeah, I see Mo Goody.
Oh my God, Mo Goody is in the building.
That means it's gonna be a great show. Mo, make sure you comment. I'll make sure I put all your comments up there for Coach to read, Mo.
Yeah, put them up there so I can read them.
Oh Lord.
Put them in. Hey Mo, put them in small print.
This will be a good one.
Yeah, that joke can't do nothing but put them in small print. When you 5'6", 135, all you can use is small print.
We're not gonna do this early. I'm gonna jump off. Boo, start anytime you want to start, and you guys have a good show.
All right, man. Hey, welcome to Straight from the Hip. I'm your host, Coach Gerald Boo Mitchell, coming to you live from the beautiful Palace on Black Mania. Here with us tonight, we have from the ATL, Miss Carey. How you doing, Miss Carey?
I'm doing all right. Ready for the...
You've been kind of quiet. I mean, you know, the boys been having that boy talk that we had before the show, and you just chilling in the cut. What's going on?
I just like listening, just trying to understand. Trying to understand the people from Mars.
I hear you. I ain't mad at you, baby. Big Irv from the Chocolate City. Irv, what's going on?
Not much. I'm just enjoying that football is back.
Oh, my God. We're going to talk about that in just a minute.
Yes.
And from Parts Unknown, Beard Unknown, we have Travis Butler. What's going on, Travis?
Not much. Glad to be back on here. Hey, I cut my beard a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see it was down to here. So
oh yeah.
I was feeding Ashley last week, and Ashley got a nice grab of my beard, and she wouldn't let go. So I was having to go like this. So
that was
I cut my beard a little bit.
That was the Geraldine and her grabbing that beard. I can tell you that much right there.
Right.
That's what that was. Anyway, folks, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey, Miss Annette Hood. And we already talked to Mo Goody. Mo Goody's in the building. So y'all know ain't gonna be nothing but some foolishness on this show tonight with Mo Goody in the building. I mean, oh Lord, well, y'all will see. Y'all will see in a few minutes. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started talking about the NFL. A lot of games on this weekend. I think maybe just about every team did a crack at playing a little preseason game or whatnot. And I was just cracking up laughing about how they were rating these quarterbacks. You know, how are you rating this quarterback? How are you rating that quarterback? You know, I mean, they've been in the league a hot minute, and everybody already wants to ordain them or kick them out or whatever. And they ain't even had time to do anything. So let's talk about it. Travis, we're gonna go with you first. I'm gonna let Travis start off first since he just had a baby. Travis, tell us about what you thought about a quarterback. Go ahead and pick your first quarterback you want to talk about, and we'll go around the horn here and let everybody talk about
it. Rookie quarterbacks?
Rookie quarterbacks.
Justin Fields.
All right, what about Justin Fields? How'd he do?
I thought he looked pretty good. Granted, I understand that he was playing against some second string backup guys. I don't think he came in till the second half, I believe, or at least the second quarter. I think they had Andy Dalton start. But from what I saw, I didn't watch the whole game. I saw the highlights, but he looked good. He looked poised. He was making good decisions, running around out there. Looked like a leader. Definitely looked like the starting quarterback of what he should be, the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Probably week one, if not week one. If they give it to Andy Dalton, I'd say halfway through the season, no doubt he'll be the starter. But I was impressed by him. Again, it's a small sample size and it's preseason game one, but I liked what I saw out of Justin Fields.
Okay, what do you think about Justin Fields, Herb?
Yeah, I want to say he was one of the best ones from the weekend. But you're going against Miami second string. Anybody's second string, you're going to look pretty solid. But he had a couple plays where he could have stayed in the pocket that I didn't like when he ran out. But other than that, I think he had one of the best weekends.
Okay, Miss Karen, what do you think, Miss Karen?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fellas and say that he had the best game. Justin Fields.
You just going with Justin Fields because he's from Atlanta. That's what that is.
No, I don't want to go with him because I wanted to draft him and we didn't. So, but I hope that he does well. I don't think that I didn't see a whole lot of Zach Wilson, and that's who I wanted to see, but I haven't seen much of his game.
Okay. Well, let me say this before
they were rating him second.
Let me say this before we move on too much. And talking about Ohio State, Joe Fleischer talking about Ohio State. Man, shut up about some damn Ohio. let me just put this out there and make sure we all on the same page, so that we all making our comments from the same landscape. If you are even playing in the first preseason game of the year, everybody, I don't care if you're a first round draft pick or whatever, everybody who is playing in the first preseason game of the year is dog meat. I mean, you are useless. I mean, they will cut your ass. They will trade you for 2 cookies and a grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, you are nobody. If you are playing in the first preseason game of the year, that's the game for no. So when you see Justin Fields out there running around and doing all that, picture him doing that against like an elementary school, because that's all that's about the equivalent of what he's doing it against. It's not like show me him doing that against Aaron Donald and then talk to him. Show me him doing that against Chase Young and then holler at your boy. But just because he out there mesmerizing y'all out there with Jim Dombrowski and other people, who are these people? I mean, who are these practice players that are drug in here and now everybody getting? So I think it's ridiculous that we even have this damn discussion. But we're gonna have you said we let Travis go first. Travis talked about him. Now we're gonna go to Miss Carey. Miss Carey, who you want to talk about? What other quarterback do you see out there that you thought was the guy?
I really want. I mean, I think that they rated dude from Chicago first, dude from the Jets second. Am I echoing again?
From where?
From the Jets.
Oh, the Jets. Okay.
Yeah. Zach Wilson was rated 2.
Zach Wilson. Yeah.
And I was surprised that Trevor Lawrence was 3. Trey Lance was 4, and then Mac Jones was 5. So I think that Chicago is the most ready team to win. So it's going to be interesting as we go into the preseason game 2 and 3 to see what he does with that, with the higher ranking players on the field with him. But I expect to see Matt Jones jump as well. as he starts to topple over Mr. Cam Newton.
Oh, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Matt, call that. We're going to talk about your comment, too. We're going to talk about New Orleans. Don't worry. That's coming up. Irv, give me some of your observations on what you saw with these quarterbacks.
The one thing that I saw was there's basically only going to be two of these guys that start in game one, Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson. Basically because the guy that's behind them have no reason to be on the football field.
Right.
Everybody else, go ahead and get a sit back. Maybe game 3 or 4, you probably get put in there. But I kind of want to see some of these guys go against the ones, and we'll probably get some of that this weekend coming up. But I tell you one thing, everybody's talking about how Mac Jones looked good against Washington. We seen what Chase Young did before Coach said, go ahead and have a seat. We've seen enough.
Yeah.
In 3 plays. And if Matt Jones would have seen some of that, he probably would be playing football right now.
Dude, we're going to talk about Mac Jones in a few minutes with him and Cam Newton. But anyway, I'm going to reserve my comments for that. But, guys, I'm just going to tell y'all this. I mean, it's funny to me none of y'all mentioned Trey Lance. Because I thought Trey Lance did pretty good out there, too.
Only because we knew you would. That's your team.
That's my team. And I mean, only reason I watched him is because this show. Because if it hadn't been for this show, I wouldn't even watch him at all. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to watch a battle, like I said, between Gigolo Jimmy and Trey Lance. But I will say this. I did think that Trey Lance showed me, he at least made me a little bit more of a believer than I was. I mean, I can kind of see it now that maybe he can grow into. He's not there yet by any stretch of the imagination. But do I feel like he can beat out Jimmy? Yes, because here's the deal. And this is what a lot of 49er fans are saying. If we truly have everything that we need to get back to the Super Bowl, we know Jimmy can't win a Super Bowl. We already know it. We already seen that. I mean, that's the only piece we were missing last time. So we need to start getting Trey ready for that. So that's my whole thing about when y'all are talking about who might need to start and this and that or whatever. I would like to see maybe Trey Lance getting a chance at starting on day one and going from there. Because like I said, I think he's going to need all that time. And he'll have some bad days. He's going to have some tour days, and he's going to have some, he's going to have his growing pains. Trevor Lawrence going to have some growing pains. Everybody who first gets in there, adjusting to the speed of the game and things like that, they'll have some problems. But I think that might be the best route to go. Well, what do you think about that, Travis?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think he should probably be the starter. Kind of like what you said with Jimmy Garoppolo. You basically know what you have with him. The only, I would say, hesitation with that is I think out of all the 5 teams that we're talking about, right, the 49ers, the Jets, the Jaguars, the Bears, and the Patriots. I think 49ers are probably the closest team to winning a Super Bowl. And they have a lot of talent on that team. And I don't know if having a rookie quarterback who may make some mistakes, right, it's difficult to win in the NFL, especially when you're a rookie quarterback. I think they're the most playoff-ready team, San Francisco is. So that they may decide, hey, we went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Let's, let him be this quarterback for a year. Let Trey Lance learn under this, and then maybe next year, flip it to Trey Lance because they're going to try and win the Super Bowl this year because I think they're the Super Bowl ready team out of the 5 or 6 teams.
Travis, you have this knack. I don't know how you doing it. You do it just about every time of saying almost exactly what I just said. I just said everything you just said.
Well, that's why I'm saying I think you start Jimmy Garoppolo instead of Trey Lance.
Okay, but I'm saying you went through all that before then. That's the only piece you added on the one I just got through saying. Anyway, Herb, talk to me.
Listen, we all know what's going to happen. Jimmy's going to have his first game of the season is going to be amazing. He's going to get all the fans on their side. Maybe we were wrong about Jimmy.
No.
And then the next 2 games, he's going to stick up the joint. And then they're going to be, Trey.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't even think he'll be that good. I just don't think Garoppolo is going to even be that good. I just really don't.
You're not gonna give him one game?
I don't even one game.
Come on.
Even one game, I don't see it.
Listen, it happens every year. It's going to happen with Cam Newton this year.
No, it ain't going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen with him. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
If Gardner Minshew does it in Jacksonville, it's going to be Gardner Minshew.
No, it ain't going to be no Gardner Minshew. Now with all this hype with Trevor Lawrence and this generational talent and all that, he got to start.
Yeah, he got to.
Anyway, let's let Miss Carey close this out and we're going to move on.
He did get sacked 4 times. Was that due to you attributed that to a bad O-line, or was he holding the ball too long?
It could be a little of both. I mean, the bottom line is that, it's very difficult. This is one of those things where as a player, that there's just too many factors and too many things going on. What if the wide receiver ran the wrong route? And so he was sitting there waiting for the wide receiver to break in. That joker broke out. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame him if somebody's running the wrong route. Those kind of things. So or the receiver fell down. He got jammed at line of scrimmage and got held up. I mean, there's just too many other factors that you can't really blame it on him. And can't really blame it on offensive line either, unless you know where the breakdown was in that play. So
they gave him a higher passer rating than they did the guy from Chicago. He did have a higher passer rating. I don't know why they didn't rank him higher.
Justin Fields.
Yeah, I think Trey Lance had like a 94.3.
It's because of that 80-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's a big thing. But I'm gonna tell you this: what I liked about Trey Lance is he didn't look like he was scared at all. I mean, he looked like, let's go. You know what I mean? I liked how he just seemed to be a little bit smoother than some of these guys. Some of these guys have butterflies and whatnot. I think it was pretty evident that you could tell that. All right, Matt, Colette, we're going to talk about this right now because we're trying to see if you feel like there are controversies about quarterbacks, quarterback controversies with the Niners, with the Saints, and with the Patriots. So let's start with the Niners. I mean, does anybody feel like there is a quarterback controversy going on with the Niners? Irv.
With the fans, not the coaching staff.
Okay, that's fair. I like that answer. Miss Carey, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Jimmy G doesn't start a game. I don't think there's any controversy.
Really?
So it is ironclad.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you just cold, Miss Carey. I mean, didn't even take your hand out from under your chin. Just like this,
Jimmy
right?
G has had an opportunity to
you see her
over and over again.
Look at the face.
She didn't realize she was doing it.
That's the GM in me. Let him go.
I know. That's what I'm talking about. You just ice. I'm talking about ice water in your veins. You said Jimmy G ain't gonna start a damn game this year.
He's not.
That's hard right there. That's hard. Travis, what do you think?
No, like I think Jimmy G starts at least one, if not a few games. I think he's to start at the beginning of the season, and then I think they bring Trey Lance along. I think the fans probably want the 49ers to go with Trey Lance, but it wouldn't shock me. It's kind of like what you said, Irv, the front office of the head coaching staff is going to stick with Jimmy G for right now.
I would love for him to start the first game and go in there and just totally screw it up. And then that way we can cut him and go get a real backup quarterback in case Trey Lance doesn't need one or whatever, because keeping Garoppolo around is just a damn waste of time. I mean, let him go on back over there with Belichick and do his thing over there, because that's what's going to wind up happening to him in the end anyway. In my mind.
Hey, go ahead and get Josh Rosen back.
Coach, the Niners' first game is against the Lions. Why not go ahead and put Trey Lance in right there?
No, that's Jimmy's good game right there.
No, that's why you don't put Jimmy in, because you know he's gonna falsely or make you believe in him falsely.
Yeah, but that's
the Lions, the Eagles,
two good games,
and then the Packers.
Speaking of the Lions, how dumb is their head coach? Did y'all see him in that press conference the other day?
Yes.
I mean, how embarrassed? I would be totally embarrassed. I mean, if I was the captain of the team, I would call a team meeting. I'm like, hey, this is all about you, Coach. I mean, you know, if we're gonna be bad, that's one thing. But we can't have somebody looking like a total dumbass out there talking to the media every day on our behalf. I mean, he looks like a moron. I mean, that's embarrassing to me to have your head coach out there acting like that, acting like he's some damn country bumpkin that just fell off the doggone pumpkin truck or something. I mean, he was terrible. I was embarrassed for those guys. All right, do the Saints have a quarterback controversy? Ooh, we can talk about this all night right here. I'm gonna start off with Herb. Chocolate City Herb. Come talk to me about the Saints. Do they have a quarterback controversy?
Maybe.
No,
Maybe.
you didn't. No, you didn't give me a maybe.
Listen, I like Jameis, but ever since Florida State, I've been calling them point shavers.
I know, but why do you like Jameis? Why? You say you like him. I mean, why does everybody like him? He's
because
terrible.
he's a gunslinger. Everybody likes the gunslinger.
He's got talent.
Oh,
He's got talent. He just makes bad decisions.
Yeah, he's the gunslinger. Everybody likes how he threw 5,030 touchdowns, and then all of a sudden they don't want to talk about that 30 interceptions he had.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, everybody loves the gunslinger quarterback. Look at Ryan Fitzpatrick. He's still in the league, just throwing the ball wherever, which way.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to Miss Carey. Miss Carey, what do you think? Controversy in New Orleans.
I think there is a controversy. I think they'll start Jameis, but I really think they're holding off for Deshaun Watson, which scares me.
Ding, 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 ding. Miss Carey gets points for that. I agree with you, Miss Carey. I'm with you on that right there now. That's the move I'm talking about.
Yeah, that makes me sick to my stomach. But I think they'll start Jameis Winston and just kind of hold off and wait.
Wow, Travis, what do you think?
I don't think there's a quarterback controversy. I think Jameis is the starter. But I will say I think they will use Taysom Hill similarly to what they've done the last few years. Like, he's going to come in for gadget plays, and he may come in for goal line situations for them to do, you know, some type of running misdirection thing. But at the end of the day, he's going to start the game. I think it's Jameis Winston every single week. I mean, he'll get more playing time as the starting quarterback. They'll use Taysom Hill as the gadget guy, but I think they're going to ride with Jameis as the starting quarterback this year.
He'll get more playing time, and you think that's a good thing? I mean, the man threw 30 interceptions last year, or last time he played as a starter. He threw 30 interceptions.
I understand. Like we've all said, he's got the talent, but his decision making lacks a lot, right? But teams look at his talent and go, I can fix that. And I think that's what the New Orleans Saints is going to try and figure out to do.
Well, Travis, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of things other than what they should be doing because they got talent, but their decision making is bad. I mean, hell, that describes a whole bunch of people, especially at that position.
Right.
When you're talking about being a damn quarterback, I mean, you are the most important person on the team, and the last thing that can be bad is your decision making. You're the only person that touches the ball every play. Jamin got his LASIK and stole seafood. You wrong for that. You wrong for that. I ain't even read that. Take that comment down, Shay. That's wrong. You wrong for that. But I'm just saying this. I mean, I don't, I would love to see Jameis do well. I just highly doubt that he will. And I think by mid-season, Jameis is probably going to be out of the league because this is, I think, going to be his last stop. I think this will be his last stop. If he doesn't do well here and he doesn't make it here, I think he'll be out of the league.
He going to San Fran?
No, he ain't going to San Fran. Hell no.
Somebody will pick him up to be – he may not be a starting quarterback after this season, but somebody will pick him up to be a backup.
I don't think anybody will pick him up to be a backup. We'll see. But just remember you heard it here. I mean, it's a lot of NFL quarterbacks out there right now walking the streets that everybody thinks should be playing. And I think he'll just be another log on the fire. So, like I said, I mean, it's a lot of guys out there that are like, I can't believe he's not still in the league. This, that, they quote stats and everything else. I think this is James's last stop. This is his proving ground. If he doesn't prove he can do it in New Orleans, I think you're going to find that joke out of the league. All right, next. And I rolled this into the next topic anyway. Cam Newton in New Orleans. Is there a quarterback controversy? Now, let me preface it with saying this. Was I the only one who heard right after they drafted Daniel Jones, Bill Belichick had a conversation with Cam Newton and told Cam Newton, "You're my guy." I mean, he said, "You're the starter right now." I mean, Daniel Jones has done nothing to show anything that he's ready to start. So you're the starter. Did anybody else hear that? Anybody? Was it just me?
I heard Bill Belichick say it. I didn't know he said it directly to Cam.
Okay, well, he said it to the media, whatever the case may be. My whole thing is that Cam Newton is now saying that Bill Belichick hadn't picked his starter. I'm like, do you expect this man to come tell you every day you're the starter? I mean, if he hasn't said anything to the contrary, if he hasn't come out and said, hey, it's wide open, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, he already gave you the keys to the kingdom. So I don't know why he's sitting up here acting like he's got to hear it again in order to, get some reassurance, I guess he's looking for, that he's the guy. Now, with that being said, let's talk about Daniel Jones. I'm going to let Ms. Carey. Ms. Carey, I'm going to start off with you, talking about Daniel Jones.
Mac Jones?
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. I think they.
I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know the white guy that's behind the black guy. Yeah, I got it. I think that Daniel Jones will be starting. I don't know. We all know that Cam Newton is a diva. He's been a diva. He needs people to tell him, I still love you, boo. I still love you.
I'm tired of that, Ms. Carey. Go ahead. I'm sick of that. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's true though, right? He is a diva, and he needs to be told. He needs to be fed the words and called a little bit.
You're gonna make me throw up.
I do think that he starts, but I think that they can't wait to put Mr. Jones in, and they're really just biting at the bait to put him in. So I think Cam Newton's time is on the clock, and I wonder where he'll be, if he's going to sit back at second string or if he's going to ask to be traded out.
Let's for the record clear it up. It's Mac Jones, but y'all know what we're talking about. Go ahead, Irv. What do you think, Irv?
Well, Cam is 32, 33 with a bunch of crazy injuries. His time is coming very soon, but I don't think Mac Jones is the fit.
I don't either.
I watched him against the second string in Washington. Of course, I had to watch that game. I didn't see what I saw at Alabama. And it's a lot of things that everybody's going to say, well, it's just the preseason. Well, but like Coach said, they going against dog meat. Like, there's a lot of guys that was playing on Washington defense that particular game. I was like, dang, I don't know that guy. I don't know that guy. And I basically know majority of the roster. And I'm just saying, Cam has a good shot. I think Belichick seen what happened against the first string defense that Washington put out and just avoided anything further and just took him out. But Cam is good. Cam's going to be in there.
So you think that Cam is?
Yeah, they have a better chance of winning with Cam right now over Mac. So I don't think it's a controversy there.
Does anybody have what Mac Jones's stats were the other night? I know Travis got it. What were his stats, Travis?
Well, give me a second. I just had them.
Somebody tell me. Man, call that. You got it.
I got it. 13 for 19 passing, 87 yards, 4.6 yards per attempt. He was sacked once. He had a 78.2 passer rating.
Did you say 4.6 yards per catch?
4.6.
4.6 yards. I mean, they act like, when I was watching this stuff on TV, they act like there's some kind of big controversy. This joker averaged 4.6 yards. Okay, he dinking and dunking. Yeah, I know Tom Brady dinks and dunks too. Yep. But at the end of the day, you dinking and dunking against dog meat. He didn't even have show me at least one good down the field pass, intermediate pass. That joker was just dinking and dunking the whole night.
Yep.
I didn't see anything that made me think he can be a starter.
I agree.
Or longtime NFL guy. or franchise leader. I didn't see anything if anything else, he looked like he's a little scared to me. Looked like he's a little hesitant to me. Like I said, when you compare him to like Trey Lance and the performance that Trey Lance had, Trey Lance looked like he was comfortable as I don't know what out there playing. I mean, like that was not his first game in the NFL. He looked like at least, in the NFL a couple of years. I mean, he's out there having fun, slinging that thing, running up and down the field. I mean, Trey Lance looked good to me, looked like a young Russell Wilson to me. I mean, that he just put me in the mind of Russell Wilson as I was watching him play. Like he could be that guy. That's why I got kind of excited that he could possibly get Jimmy G's ass out there and we can move on. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying is that I did not, when I heard people talking about, there's a quarterback controversy in New England with Mac Jones and Cam Newton, I'm like, I don't even like Cam Newton. I was like, that's bullshit. If they do that, I mean, that's just because they don't like Cam Newton and they don't like that whole metrosexual thing he got going on. And he around there crying because Bill Belichick won't say he's going to start the first. I mean, that's what gets to Cam Newton in trouble to me more than anything. Because then they show practice video. And guess who's the only one out there dressed like a drag queen and some shoulder pads, dancing and all that stuff to the music and everything and singing and all that is him. And I mean, my whole thing is, if you're going to be that dude all the time. Be that dude who's confident. Be that dude who's dancing at practice. Be that guy who's out there having fun and talking trash and doing all that. But then don't cry to the media. Well, I'm not sure because Coach Belichick hadn't really said yet and hadn't told me that I'm going to be the starter. You bastard me be like, hell yeah, I'm the starter. Don't ask me that shit again. I'm the starter of this franchise. What the hell you asking me that for? You act like that all the rest of the time. Why don't you act like that when they ask you that question? That dude, that is annoying to me for Mr. Newton. So that was particularly bothersome. All right, last topic we're going to talk about in the NFL. I know it's been disturbing. That's why Travis kept being kind of down. And Travis's cousin, Tim Tebow, got cut. Hold on. Were you expect me to say he was Er's cousin?
Yeah.
Travis's cousin, Tim Tebow, got cut from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, Travis, you said earlier you were a little surprised that he got cut. So we're going to let you start off. I'm sure nobody else was surprised. So we're going to let you start off and explain to everybody why you were surprised he got cut.
Okay, what I said before we started the show was I was surprised he got cut this early in preseason.
Why?
I thought they would at least hang on to him till week 3 for all the media exposure. Again, jersey sales, they can make money off of him. I wasn't surprised he didn't make the team. I was just surprised that they cut him this early.
Let me ask you something. Have you ever heard the word distraction? Have you ever heard that word before?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what his ass is when you keep him around, knowing good and damn well his ass can't play. Yeah. All he is a damn distraction. And everybody in there like, dude, why is this joker still here? I mean, this joker couldn't block. No, he couldn't block a damn blocking dummy. I mean, he couldn't go out there and damn drive that sled back 5 yards. I mean, he looked like look at him out. Oh my God. Look. You lose respect for him just as a player at all when you see him trying to block like that. I mean, that is just terrible. Miss Carey, what you think about it, Miss Carey? Help Travis out, Miss Carey.
I saw all the memes that they had out there. They had so many memes out there about his tackling, so I knew that he was in trouble. And so I think at this point, if you keep him, you look like a fool as a coaching staff.
Amen.
To keep him on that long. He's just he's trying to be Taysom Hill.
Big Herb, Chocolate City, talk to me.
If they kept him, the fact that they signed him.
Yeah.
No. The day, matter of fact, I think we did a podcast the day that they signed him first.
We did.
Are you serious? And I said there's so many tight ends that don't even get looks.
Amen.
Here you see it on video.
There we go, Irv. That's what the real conversation is. Think about tight ends out there who right now are like, dude, everybody knew this was gonna happen. I mean, what grown-ass man who used to be a quarterback is now gonna be a damn tight end in the NFL? Do you know who you have to block in the NFL if you're a tight end? I mean, you having to block people like Chase Young. You having to block people like Cameron Hayward.
Myles Garrett.
Cameron Hayward. And I see Cameron Hayward quite a bit whenever he comes back from out of town. He lives right down the street from my ex-wife. This joker is like 6'8", 330. And I mean, his hand, I promise you, is bigger than a skillet. Dude, I mean, this joker's hands are that big. And you're going to go out there and try to block him as a former quarterback? I mean, what? This was so stupid. And I mean, I would be irritated if I was a tight end. I would be very irritated that you brought this joker into camp when I had a legitimate shot at making it. And you bring this doggone joker in here talking about moving from quarterback to tight end. That was a travesty from the beginning. It never should have been allowed. It was allowed. And I'm glad that they did what they did. I think they're just trying to salvage it now. Salvage that bad decision that they made.
No.
They got him out of there.
But Coach, did you hear what they said after they cut him?
What did they say?
We want to give him an opportunity to get seen by other teams.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what that is, Irv? Irv, that's modern day. That's Urban Meyer, because he had to do the same thing at Ohio State. That's when they call you in and say, Irv, you know what? We made a decision that we're going to give you the opportunity to go play at any other college in America.
Yeah.
We're gonna release you from your scholarship here, and we're going to let you go play wherever you want to play, because we're sure there's a lot of colleges out there that you're probably still interested in. They act like they're doing you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, at the end of the day, they're like, dude, get your ass out of here.
Like you want to go to Kentucky? Well, good luck, sir. We'll see.
Yeah.
You third
oh
game.
My God, that was bad.
Hey, real quick, I will say, again, not surprised that they cut him or anything like that, but he did have the highest selling jersey in the NFL up to yesterday.
Good for him, Travis.
So
good for him.
I'm just saying, you asked why the Jags signed him.
I know.
That's the reason. And I said that on this show when you guys said, why would they sign Tebow? And I said, it's Florida. They're going to sign him when, for jersey sales. He's got the #1 jersey in the NFL right now.
How much they make off of him, you think?
I don't know. But
give me a figure. Give me a figure.
And each one of those fans is on NFL.com. Like, can I get the Denver Broncos version?
Yeah. Travis, just give me a number. What do you think they made? $10 million?
Sure.
You know, when Daniel Snyder and them got fined $10 million for all that stuff they did about them women and this and another, the attorney for the women said, this is a slap in the face, only fining them $10 million. I mean, $10 million for an NFL franchise owner is like a quarter. I mean, nobody care about no damn $10 million that they might have made in some damn jersey sales. I mean, what they gonna do? Buy the cleaning lady a damn car? I mean, what you gonna do with $10 million in the NFL?
At the end of the day, yes, this is sports, but this is also a business. And I guarantee you they had a huge profit on Tim Tebow just by bringing him in for 3 weeks in training camp. So it was worth it for Jacksonville to do this. It was absolutely worth it for them to do this.
I'm telling you, the NFL ain't worried about no doggone petty jersey sale, man. These jokers worried about getting that money winning the damn Super Bowl. Give me damn $1 billion. That's what you give me. I ain't worried about no damn $10 million.
If they weren't worried about jersey sales, then they would just give jerseys out for free, and they wouldn't be calculating it. So.
No, they ain't giving them out for free. I ain't have to give them out for free. My whole point is that, that's like saying that McDonald's is worried about some shit other than hamburgers. I mean, the bottom line is that they ain't worried about that bullshit. Nobody care about that. Look at that drink machine out there at McDonald's. Why they let you go up there and get all the free drinks you want? They don't give a damn about no damn soda. Like, man, go back here and buy you a hamburger. Go out there and drink all that shit for free you want. Here, take another cup out there with you. I mean, ain't nobody worried about no damn sodas when you at McDonald's. It's like the NFL. They ain't worried about no damn jersey sale. They worried about damn ticket sales. They worried about damn people in there. They worried about their team winning. Why? The more they win, the more these jokes gonna come in here to this state and have them damn ticket sales. That's what you do. That is insane, Travis. I ain't listening to that, Travis. All right, moving right along. Let's go to the NBA. This is in your wheelhouse right here, cuz I know this is your boy. And he's my boy too. I love him to death. You know I love me some P-Bev. What's going on with P-Bev, Irv? P-Bev is on the traveling train right now. Talk to me. What happened to P-Bev?
It's just a piece on the move.
Yeah.
Wow. He's definitely on the move.
It's one every offseason, and this year it's him. I couldn't tell you who it was last year. It might have been Iguodala because I know he went from Memphis to somebody else to Miami. That was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But yes, they do this every year. Somebody realizes that they got too many people on one team, and they're just like, you know what? I didn't realize we traded. We already got 3-point guards on the team. Let's go ahead and see if we can get some other guys. You know, you do it all the time.
I'll be honest with you, I was shocked. And for guys who don't know, we're talking about Patrick Beverly, who is a point guard, and more than that, he is probably the most antagonizing player in the league. And he is also normally the heart and soul of every team that he's on. He was playing for the Clippers. He got traded from the Clippers to the Memphis Grizzlies. Is that right, Earl?
Yes.
And then before he could ever even put on a jersey, he got traded from Memphis to who, Earl?
Minnesota
Timberwolves. That's right. So I found that to be shocking because of the fact that he is such a good, highly sought after player. Let me switch to our other NBA aficionado, Miss Carey. Talk to me. I know all you worried about is Chris Paul, but take your mind off Chris for a minute and let's talk about Patrick Beverly.
I'll try. I think that probably they sent him there for his leadership and veteran because he's a veteran. I think he's a great defender. He's not really a great offensive player in my opinion. But the Timberwolves is almost like, I mean, they're the Jets of the NBA. It would be hard to go from the LA Clippers to the Minnesota Timberwolves. From the Sunshine State to Minnesota, that has to hurt.
I hear you.
But that's funny though, because a few years ago we were saying that about the Clippers.
A few years ago?
Yeah.
You talking about how bad the Clippers were? Nobody wanted to go out there with the Clippers.
As soon as Chris Paul.
I could agree with you, Irv, on that, but I mean, how do you think he will do, and how do you think they will do now that he's there with the Timberwolves?
Well, to be honest, I just heard something else that he's about to be on the move again.
Yeah. No kidding.
So, because they already signed Ricky Rubio to be the backup to the point guard that they already have up there. So, I mean, he's just one of those pawns that's just going around. Hopefully, he's still in Los Angeles because he don't know where his final destination is going to be. But I hear he's on the move one more time. But I also heard that he was out of ranks with the Clippers from, all his antics in the playoffs and everything that was going on too. So I think it's a little deeper than what we've seen, and a lot of teams are just using him as let's try to get a piece before we finalize our roster right now.
Well, he did have that one day where he showed his behind. Remember, he ran up and pushed that guy in the back, but it was Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah.
It was Chris Paul. Chris Paul had said something about his mama did something like that during the game. Isn't it right, Miss Carey?
I don't know that he said. I don't know what he said. I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were there. You were there after the game. But Chris Paul said something about his mama did something to him during the game. I mean, he pissed him off really bad. And then on the way out, Chris Paul said something else or something. And Patrick Beverly turned around and ran past an official and pushed him in the back, almost knocked him down.
I think Chris Paul was singing the State Farm theme.
Yeah, that might have been it too. So anyway, I was just very surprised to see him on travel on like that. Finishing up this category, want to talk about the big bag that they gave to Joel Embiid. Irv, talk to me.
Oh, it was coming. It's no surprise to me.
Well, I mean, it's sort of like he's got to get it, especially with Ben Simmons being Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So did they just take Ben Simmons' money and give it to him? Now they're gonna cut Ben Simmons.
You know, they're gonna put him in the corner. They're gonna give him an ultimatum. Hey, you gonna give us about 20 mil this year, and then another 15 next year, and we're gonna get us to Joel.
Ain't no doubt. I guarantee you.
And then they're gonna trade him.
If you want to stay in Philly.
He already wants out. So we gotta see.
Interesting. Miss Carey, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, good for Joel Embiid to get that much money for playing 70% of the games he's played since he's been drafted. I hope that Ben Simmons gets out, and I hope that Daryl Morey gets his Dame Dollar so we can see some excitement in him.
Ooh, Dame Dollar in Philly? Ooh, you heard it from Miss Carey. That sounds like some good talk. You done have Chris Paul right there now. I think you just let one out. I think you just let one out right there. Have you heard anything about that?
No.
Dave Dollar in Philly. It better not happen. I'm telling you right now. It better not happen, Miss Carey. For your sake, I'm going to roast you on this show. If that happens. Tell you that right now. Travis, what do you think about? What do you think about that big bag they gave Embiid?
No, I congratulations to him. He earned it, right? MVP caliber player, in the conversation for the last few years, consummate all-star team, first team, all NBA, offense, defense type stuff. So he earned it. Number 1 overall draft pick. Doesn't surprise me that they gave him this max deal. Didn't know he was up for it, but if you would have said he's up for it to get a max deal, I would have said they're going to give it to him because they obviously want to build the team around him. They've been doing that for the last few years anyway. So, and he's played very, very well. They were obviously the number 1 seed this past year in the East, so it obviously worked. So go ahead and give your best player the max contract that they can. So no surprise there.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean,
you said they were.
Go ahead, Miss Carey.
You said they were first in the East.
They were like the number 1 seed. Were they the number 1 seed in the East?
Yeah. Were they
that's right.
They were the number 1 seed in the East. That's what he's
remember since the Hawks took them down. I couldn't really remember.
No, I know.
Bringing the shade.
Talks. I'm not saying anything negative, but they were the number 1 first seed in the East. Yes, but they did. I'm
gonna say this, Travis. She did take a hand from under her chin when she did that to you. She did at least do that. What is wrong with you tonight, boy? You a little spicy tonight. I'm trying to tell you. She lowered that thing on Travis. What? Who? They were first. They were first in the East? Exactly when was that first you talking about? Because they didn't come out of the East.
They did not. Miss Carey, I'm sure you saw the playing on Christmas.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Boy, I like that, Miss Carey. I like that. Ooh. What did you do her? What she do to her? Ooh, she put that kid some type on it, boy. Yeah.
I was going for the Sixers and Embiid. I wasn't going for Travis.
I hear you.
Travis knows that.
We got about 12 minutes left to talk about the NCAA real quick. Who doesn't want to be in the SEC? Now they're saying, damn, Clemson talking about moving to the SEC along with Florida State. There's rumors that they might be dropping out Vanderbilt, dropping out Mississippi State. I think they said 2 SEC teams might have to drop out so that they can bring in other people. And what do you guys think about this whole thing about the SEC being this 16, maybe even 20-team conference? We're gonna start with Travis. Travis is the resident college guy. He over there got that bad look on his face because he's afraid we're gonna start talking about NIL in a few minutes. But go ahead, Travis. Tell us what you think about the SEC.
I'm a traditionalist. I want the SEC to kind of stay, in the boundaries of what they are. I understand, it's all about money. I understand why they are bringing in Texas and Oklahoma. But let's face it, Texas and Oklahoma aren't in the southeastern of the United States, right? And this is the SEC, the Southeastern Conference. I wish that the Big 12 would stay the same, the Pac-12, the Big 10. I wish everything would stay the same. We know it's not. But as a traditionalist, I do not like it. I want, the SEC to kind of stay, what it's been. And I think it's good for that. But as a competitive, as a whole, like the SEC, they're going to be more competitive, getting some of the I guess, the lesser teams out and getting some powerhouses in. But I don't like it.
I want to make sure I heard you right. Did you say Texas and Oklahoma are in the southeastern part of the country?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, what'd you say?
I said, of course, with Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC, I said they're not in the southeastern part of the country.
Okay, you lost me because I was like, I didn't get what you were saying. I just thought you were talking about they could expand and just kind of adopt.
No.
Okay.
I was saying I don't want them to expand. I want them to stay. The 14 teams prior to Texas and Oklahoma. I want them to stay.
Miss Karen.
I don't understand how they would ask teams to leave the SEC. Like, what kind of validation would they give to kicking teams out in order to bring other teams in? I think that if you take out teams like Texas and OU from the Big 12, you need 4 teams in that conference. 4 teams. So I think at this point, either they restructure the entire NCAA and conference divisions, or they have to kind of make a delineation in the sand. Plus, the playoffs only allow for the 4, no greater than 4 teams from each conference. We already had 3 of those teams from the SEC last year. So they're going to have 16 teams vying for the 4th position in the SEC? Come on, man.
Irv?
I don't like it. I mostly because they're only doing it for football, and I think it dilutes a lot of the basketball and even baseball rivalry that's going on.
Especially baseball, yeah.
Like basketball is taking some huge hits with like Syracuse and Pittsburgh and Villanova and those guys in the Big East. And then you got West Virginia, who used to be in the Big East, that had big rivalries with those guys. Like, there's really, if you add Texas and Oklahoma to the SEC, there's no historical rivalry reference that you're going to have. For the fact that the names of the schools are just big names. And for me, I'm not going to enjoy it on that side of it, especially with the other sports. So, I mean, it's going to happen because money talks and football is where it is. But I'm not a huge fan of it.
Let me ask you this, because there are 5 conferences, 5 major conferences. They call them the Power 5. So the SEC said they're turning into this monster of a conference. So now the other conferences decided they were going to get together and have a talk about combining. So the Pac-12, the Big 10, and the ACC got together to talk. Wait a minute, that's only 3 conferences.
Right.
What happened to the Big 12, Travis? That's your conference.
It's my conference.
Travis, you always talk about Oklahoma and all them in that conference. Or Texas. That's your conference. Travis, that ain't your conference.
No, it's not my conference. What are you talking about? It's my conference.
Travis, do you not always talk about Texas? In Texas, in Texas, your conference or your team?
No.
Who's your team?
South Carolina.
Oh my God. Travis, you ain't ever talked about who's your second team? You ain't ever talked about Oklahoma?
Purdue.
Dude, they didn't even include the damn Big 12. They're like, man, forget them jokes. Them jokes, they no good over there. The 3 other conferences got together and talked about coming together and having an alliance so that they could combat the SEC. I just thought that was funny as hell. Like, they were like, man, forget about the bitch. Them jokes ain't no good. I mean, especially if you take out Oklahoma and Texas. I mean, what you got left over there? I do that. When I found out that only 3 of the 4 got together, I couldn't wait to get on this show. Because, you know, for the longest time, I've been an SEC guy. You know, I'm going to stay an SEC guy. I don't even like what they're doing right now, but I'm still going to stay an SEC guy. I don't like the plan. I think that they maybe should pick up a team, maybe 2. But, you know, trying to just get all the I don't like it. I don't like that. I think that there's another way, and there's a better way. I don't think you should bring all the competition in and beat up on each other, you know, all year long, and then go out there and do whatever. I don't know what their plans is as far as having a national championship or whatever. So I will say this. I don't know if any of you heard this. I have heard it said that we are very close to having an end of the NCAA. That the NCAA will be absolutely no need for an NCAA if this big plan goes through, if this mega conference for the SEC. Irv, what do you think about no NCAA?
It's bound to happen. It was bound to happen. But the only downside is you're going to have a bunch of teams making up their own schedule. And a lot of people getting cut out. And it's the one thing I say is going to hurt recruiting. Because a lot of players actually go to a lot of schools that will play in certain areas that go back to their hometown rather than just playing in their home school. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I kind of want to see how it's going to go before I make my decision on how I feel about that.
Okay, Travis. No NCAA, Travis. What do you think?
I think it's something that, you know, that it's been talked about over the years, but I think it's picked up more and more steam just within the last year, more than any other year, with all this realignment and all the talks of further realignment. So I think it's bound to happen, you know, but when, I don't know. I don't know if the NCAA can do anything to maybe, you know, possibly stall it from happening, not stop it from happening, but maybe, you know, stall it from happening. I don't know if there's any legal things that they may be able to do. They may be able to pull something out, but it's definitely something that has picked up steam the last few years, and definitely more within the last 12 months than probably at any time in the history of, you know, of you know, when we've been talking about this.
Ms. Karen.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about it. I think that we're closer than we've ever been to it. And I think that they've been stalling for a long time. They've just been stalling behind the scenes, so we've not been able to see it.
I agree with you on that now. Ms. Peter says, just a question. Do you think there will be some sort of governing body? Ms. Peter, I think there will have to be some sort of governing body, simply because when you have that many teams together, you're going to have to come up with some set of rules, or it's just going to be absolute chaos. Yeah. And absolute chaos is going to lead to the dissolving of that group, whatever you want to call them, conference, whatever you want to call them, league, whatever. So there will have to be some governing body.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine Alabama making their own schedule? Yeah, we just want to play LSU, Clemson.
Yeah.
All these schools.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all.
But we want to play them. We want to play them every other week.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, the biggest person on these guys' staffs is the athletic director. Because if you look at Alabama's schedule, it's normally play a big game, play a couple duds. Play another big game, play another dud. Play another. So they space them out. And they don't ever have it where they have to play like Auburn and then Georgia 1 week after the next.
Yep.
You know, they have it where they allow their players to kind of get ready and get over the illnesses and the broken bones or the hurt bones or strains or sprains and all that before they have to play another monster game. And that's why you see them picking up games like playing Florida A&M. You know, or somebody like that.
Howard.
Yeah, exactly. Playing Howard.
Akron.
Miami of Ohio. I mean, you know, any team in the MAC. You know,
Shaw University.
I'm just telling. I mean, dude, that's what they do. So anyway, Matt Cowlett said, well, Georgia Tech needs a new AD because they have a gauntlet. Well, this is the thing about it. Some ADs are stupid, and some ADs have way too much pride. And they're like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to run this gauntlet. We're going to show people how good and how tough. I don't give a damn how good or how tough you are. You might win every game, but them players going to be beat to hell if you run a gauntlet like you're talking about, Matt. I mean, the bottom line is that it is very difficult for your body to go through that constant pounding. When you had them big 300-pounders down there in them trenches, and, dude, they are colliding with each other every play. I mean, physics alone tells you that somebody's ass is going to be hurt because human beings aren't meant to do that on a daily basis like that and then turn around and go do it again within 7 days. It's very difficult to do that. Very difficult. So, but anyway, yeah, there you go. Richard Hood said Charleston versus Georgia. What Georgia doing playing Charleston? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. The AD set those games up like that so that'll give your team a chance to rest and a chance to recuperate from a big game that you had, the week before, whatever the case may be, and get ready for the next big game that you're going to have on your schedule. So, all right, one more topic we're going to talk about real quick, and then we'll move on. The top 5 rankings came out. You'll never guess who was number 1 on the top 5 rankings.
Alabama.
Who was number 1, Miss Carey?
Alabama.
Of course they were. Guys, did y'all see those top 5 rankings? I mean, it's the same top 5. I bet you, and I didn't go back and look, I know it's definitely 4 of the 5, if not the same top 5 it seems like they've had for a decade, which is Alabama was, I think, number 1. I think Clemson was number 2.
3.
Oh, they were who was number 2?
Oklahoma.
Okay, Oklahoma, another one that's always in top 5. So you had Alabama, Oklahoma, Clemson. Who was 4, Travis?
OH.
Yeah,
Ohio State, and then, of course, in their usual 5 spot, Georgia. I mean, does that not sound familiar? I mean, maybe Clemson and Oklahoma switch, something like that, but it's always the same top 5 teams. I mean, I want to say that maybe Texas A&M snuck in there last year when the first preseason rankings came out. I think Texas A&M might have been number 5 or something like that. But for the most part, it's the same 5 teams.
And they are.
So, I mean, how do we change that? What needs to happen to change that, Irv?
Well, if you look at the rest of the top 25, it's a lot of changes. So we might say, so with the top 5, we can't stop the fact that the recruits are all going to the top 5 schools.
Let me explain to you how this is done. And I've explained this to the people here on this show before. They actually put some thought in who the top 5 are, who those top 5 will be. They put some thought into that. After that, they take all the rest of the names in the top 25, the 20 names, and put them in a hat. And they let their children pick out the hat and say, oh, Iowa State, I got Iowa State. So, okay, put Iowa State down number 7. I mean, they don't give a damn about the rest of them teams. I mean, 6 through 25, who cares about 6 through 25? Do you really care who the number 14 team is that they're saying is going to be the number 14 team? You'll forget that shit as soon as they say it to you. They'll say, Houston is number 14. You say, who? I mean, you forget it as soon as you hear it because it doesn't matter. You can never go back and repeat the top 10. You just worry about them top 5. And the rest of them, nobody cares. I mean, like I tell Jason all the time, me and Jason had this guy, I say, anybody. It don't matter. Just put anybody down. Because it does. Charleston. Richard Hood just said something about Charleston. Put Charleston down at number 17. What is the number 17 team in the nation going to get? I mean, playing the Mac Daddy Cheeseburger Bowl? I mean, who cares? I mean, they're going to play in some dumbass no-name bowl and get a bag of Fritos each.
And look forward to it every year.
Dude, I have no patience and no time for anything outside the top 5. Because if not, you just go into some stupid old bowl game anyway. And I mean, you're not gonna win no national championship. So what difference does it make? I mean, you know, if you're a UCF for whatever reason, they take pride in being in the top 10 or doing this and they act like I think they buy rings for the kids if they're in the top 5 or top 10 or whatever. Dude, nobody cares about that. I mean, if you don't have that trophy, that Capital One, if your team isn't playing when they have the Samuel L. Jackson commercial with Spike Lee and Charles Barkley, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't nothing if you're not playing during those commercials that they have. So anyway, folks, we got to get out of here.
Hey, real quick.
Corky Kell Classic is this week. Go ahead, Travis.
Coach, just so you know, the number 17 team is Indiana because you kept saying 17.
Oh, yeah. I mean, real football powerhouse right there. Holy moly, yeah. They really let's see if they wind up at number 6. Let's see if they wind up there or number 7, whatever you said. Let's see what Indiana winds up by the end of the year. Folks, it's time for us to get out of here. Let's see if we can get Big Papa to make an appearance. I think he fell asleep back there under the controls or something. Y'all seen Jay? I heard Jay. Normally Jay's out here texting and everything. Good night, Tom. It's a good having
don't do me
day.
like that. Don't do me like that.
Yeah. Hey, you a busy man. I know this your second podcast of the night. That's why I said it. Anyway, Jay, give me some thoughts on stuff you heard tonight.
Trey Lance ain't ready to play. Zach Wilson, who cares? It's the Jets. Trevor Lawrence is going to have to play because Gardner Minshew can't play. Herb, I actually like Heineke rather than more than I like Fitzpatrick. Cam Newton, it don't really matter because Mac Jones is the future regardless. They like it.
Herb is walking off. You made Herb walk off.
Yeah, well, you know, he like interception Fitzpatrick. It's tragic. You like that. Jameis Winston, it don't matter because they're going to be terrible anyway. And, yeah. I mean, we could go through all the other stuff I pretty much agree with.
I hear you. Well, folks, we've had a good time. We hope you guys have too. Thank the Hoods. Thank, I know saw Miss Ham. Miss Peavy, as always, thank you for being here. Tom, as always, thank you for being here. Matt Collette, I know I saw you. Mo Goody made a cameo appearance. And, came in here just to stir the pot, then got his ass out of here. But we want to thank him for doing that. Good night, Miss Ham. We're very thankful he did it. Travis got something to say. What you want, Travis?
No, just real quick. Corky Kell's this weekend, right?
Corky Kell starts tomorrow, actually. Okay. The first games are Wednesday night. And then, y'all can Google it and see where everybody's playing. I know we're playing at 5:45 in the Mercedes-Benz Dome downtown on Saturday night. So I know all of our games are indoors. These other games are not indoors, but some of them are at Dacula, out your way, Travis. There's some other games that are, I can't remember where all the games are right now. But like I said, they got some pretty good games. I do find it a little interesting that probably the least attractive game to watch is going to be the final game, which is going to be Collins Hill versus Brookwood. And that's going to be tough. Brookwood's had a bunch of their kids move to North Cobb. Now that North Cobb Buford game, that would be one to watch. And I think it's actually going to be at North Cobb. So be careful with that thing that I sent out because I think there were some irregularities on there. But I think some of those games have been moved to the stadiums that they're supposed to be at, like the Buford North Cobb game. I'm not going over to North Cobb to watch it, but it'll be on TV, so I'll catch it on TV. So that'll be a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, watch some of that high school football this week. It's kind of fun to have it on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and Saturday. So and on TV, so you can see most of it there. Jay, give everybody that Netflix thing you talking about you want them to watch.
Oh, yeah. It's called Untold Malice in the Palace. It just talks about the Malice in the Palace with the Pacers and the Pistons, but it interviews like Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal, Reggie Miller. Like it's pretty good. It's only an hour and like 9 minutes, but it's really good.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to check that out. Hour and 9 minutes is good because Netflix be tripping sometimes. You're like, damn 6-hour movie. Or you get to watching something and they got them 17 episodes.
Yep.
Who has time to watch 17 episodes? So I'm telling you right now, Netflix is for poor people. It's for people on welfare sitting on the couch. It's an alternative to watching Jerry Springer. You can just sit there and watch a whole 3 seasons or something. I mean, folks be telling me they did that. Like, I binge watch. I'm like, you need to get you a job. Anyway, folks, we got to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We'll see y'all next week. Good night, Ms. Francis.
Good luck on Saturday, Coach.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate it.